Hey everyone, and welcome back to my completionist playthrough of the Baldur's Gate Saga with SCS. And before we properly begin this episode, kind of for real, as is often the case with me, I've of course forgot about some things. So first, before we leave Imnes Vale, let's inform Minister Lloyd of Madolf's proposition.
Is there something you need?
A proposition about being able to protect the village in exchange for some trading opportunities. And of course this isn't great news knowing that even the ogres are being hunted by these mysterious monsters in the area. But Minister Lloyd is going to like that offer from Madolf, and he's going to go and speak to him about it. And there's a follow-up to this later, but some time needs to pass. And for now we can get some experience. Also another thing is that we can definitely equip Valigar a little bit better. We can at least give him a helmet. And his armor is magically enchanted, so we cannot give him any items of protection. And we are going to stick with that armor, but we can definitely give him some potions and just rearrange some stuff. Give him some things to carry. We can also give these thrown daggers to Edwin. Not too many of them, so as to not overburden him. But this should work out fine. And yeah. Also another thing I forgot to show is this journal showcasing the date. So the events of Baldur's Gate 2 take place in the year 1369, and that Sothilician War we've talked about last episode is something yet to happen, I guess, in the Forgotten Realms timeline. But anyway, we can go back to Athkatla now. We have 5 in the morning, so there's not going to be any vampire encounters. And let's check. Okay, Mahir is not here. We're going to have to visit him later, because I want to upgrade that Horn of Valhalla now that we have the ingredients. And speaking of which, that Baldur is something that we know from Baldur's Gate 1. In Durlach's Tower, on the first level of the dungeon section, the representation of Avarice wanted us to get a Baldur, a particularly valuable, shining and glimmering gem. But anyway, now that we have maximum discounts coming from both Charisma and Reputation, I would like to get some stuff from Ribald. Primarily this Ring of Energy, the Victor. It's going to have a couple of charges of this single target damage spell, and the notable thing about it is that it's considered a level 0 spell, so it's going to go through various mage protections. And while we're here, might as well get these bracers of AC3. Those are the best armor class bracers in the game. And they're cheap enough now. We can give them to Edwin to improve his armor class, and we can get some other stuff. This is not our last visit in the Adventurer Mart, of course, but we can get some resources already. Our financial situation is pretty good. We can definitely afford those. So yeah, we have 8 charges on that ring. Yeah, Edwin's armor class improves by 3, so pretty decent. And our potion case is full. So let's just get out all of these potions of Master Thievery. We have a lot of them. And I think I saw also this, yeah, this Cursed Oil of Speed that we need to get rid of. Alright, Ribald, what else can you offer me? I think we're going to get this Mordenkainen's Sword Scroll, and we're definitely going to get these Secret Word Scrolls, because we're going to need them where we're going. We can also get this Rod of Resurrection, and this Ring of Air Control. You know, it gives you improved invisibility, but it's only for 1 turn. And this Charm Elemental, Air Elemental is not particularly useful, especially with that Save versus Spell at +2. But it's just another way of getting access to some invisibility, and it's very cheap now. So I'm going to get it, and we're going to sell some stuff to Ribald, and we should be done here for now. Right. And now we're at that kind of a point in the game where with SCS we are going to have to start attacking some properly difficult content. Well, especially in places where I want to go. I want to do the Planar Sphere and the Planar Prison, and both of these places have some like proper high-level mages and some difficult creatures like fiends, for example. We're going to do the sphere first, but not before paying a little visit to Tolgaris to make him a little mad, because we can show him that we have Valigar with us, and he can't do anything about it. So, are you mad, Tolgaris? He's going to just teleport out. And of course, if we had the quest from him, if we had accepted that quest, you can actually give Valigar to the Cowled Wizards, and you're going to suffer a couple of reputation points for that, because that's pretty evil to like trick Valigar to join your group and then still bring him to the Cowled Wizards. But depending on who you have in your party, sometimes that's not even possible to do, because Jaheira, for example, just opposes that kind of thing completely, and you're not even going to have the option of doing that. And some party members are going to leave your party after seeing what you've done, what an evil deed you have had committed. And Anoman actually is one of these party members that would just leave after it. Anyway, now the Planar Sphere. We have some people to talk to. So this guy wants us to worship the sphere. Kneel before the might of the sphere. Kneel before its power. Kneel before its wisdom. He wants to build a temple around it and charge some admission fees, of course. From this historian we can get some info. Mostly stuff that we've heard before. But yeah, we can ask about Lavok. He was a wizard and merchant of great wealth. And 3 years after building the sphere, it disappeared. And apparently one of his apprentices managed to escape and inform others about Lavok's plans to explore the plains and to return within 10 years. And of course it's been over 500 years. Yeah, and of course the Cowled Wizards, they've made numerous attempts to study it and get inside, but of course no one really knows how to get in. That's pretty much the extent of what we can get from him. Now this guy, Waylane, is going to try to sell the Planar Sphere, make some money off of this event, and he can address a couple of our party members. So here he speaks to Jaheira. He can speak to our protagonist also, and he can speak to Valigar, and the conversation with Valigar actually makes him leave. Alright, this is going to be it, because Valigar is going to get a little angry at him, and he's just going to bolt. Get out of here. Anyway.
Yes, this is it. This is the Planar Sphere here in the slums. We should climb the stairs and find some manner of entrance. If I'm right, my presence should open the sphere.
Yes. And that's exactly what's going to happen now that we have Valigar in our party. We're going to be able to open the door and get inside.
Without doubt.
And this is a really cool area. First let's visit this room to the side. It's going to be a little method here. I think he can actually stun, and Jaheira is not protected against that with her Shield of Harmony. But anyway, I didn't want to enter as a group because of the AoE properties of this method spells. Anyway, here we can see like a bird's view perspective of Athkatla, so this is pretty interesting. You can see the slums from high above. This door we're not going to be able to open until we get a special key, which we're going to be able to get from this area. And there's going to be a clay golem here. And I'm going to approach with Jaheira. She has the best armor class, and perhaps we're going to be able to avoid its attacks. And we need blunt weapons to even damage clay golems. Alright, cool. I wanted to avoid its attacks because it can curse. In SCS they have a curse that prevents healing. And we have some remove curse scrolls, but still. Okay, in this storage area there's going to be some goodies. Here we have a golem arm and that planar key. The golem arm is going to be useful later. So we have some scrolls. Yeah, here's that planar key. We're going to be able to use it right away. And there's also coal. Some more scrolls. Some bullets +2. This coal, we need like 3 piles of it. Although we can get 4 in total in the Planar Sphere. But anyway, that's all for a little bit later. Now we can use that key as a lever. And now from the control panel, you can see that we have initiated planar travel, apparently. The inner door will now open. You may not leave the sphere until the master allows it. So here in the side room, we can see that we're somewhere else now. We're over some kind of a demonic plane, some kind of demonic valley. And we're going to go outside at a later point. But anyway, let's progress inside. We're going to meet some knights. Knights of Salamnia, apparently. And this is a reference to the Dragonlance universe, I think. There's a Salamnic order in there. Yeah, they're from the world of Ansalon. So far removed from this one. And she's going to tell us that she explored a little bit with her fellow knights, and she witnessed some horrors. She witnessed some cannibalistic creatures, apparently, that were ready to rend the flesh from her body, I guess, and swallow it and suck the marrow from your bones. Dang. That's not nice. Here we have Kelbin's Warding Whip, decent spell. We can talk to the other knights as well. And this guy is going to tell us about the room to the north, telling us that there are some creatures, fish that walk as men, in some kind of an oceanic nightmare. And from this dude, we can get some other information. This is pretty cool that these different orders of Salamnic knights, so Knights of the Crown, of the Sword, and of the Rose. But if we talk to him again, he's going to tell us about a room further to the west, kind of a magical laboratory. And we're going to definitely make use of that. Anyway, in this room to the north, it's going to be our first encounter with the Sahuagin in Baldur's Gate 2. We've already met them in Baldur's Gate 1 briefly, thanks to the NPC project. But I am going to lightly pre-buff before we go in there. Let's get some mirror images. We might get some bless from... Actually, we're going to get some of that later. And let's try to go into stealth. Okay, both of our stealthy characters managed to do that. I'm going to go with everyone, but leave Edwin a little bit in the back, I think. And actually, let's lead on with our stealthy characters. Okay, so here we have some Sahuagin. There are going to be 2 priestesses. I think they're going to have stone skin, so backstabbing them is not really an option. This guy, of course, already sensed us, I guess. So the fight is going to start shortly. There's also this Baron and some other guys. They're not really a big deal. I just want to open the fight with some backstabs to get rid of some of them quickly. Anyway, we can enter. Yeah, they have some pre-buffs. Yeah, they do have stone skins, actually. And we can throw in a little fireball to soften them up, maybe. Edwin actually can stay all the way in the back. And we need some melee weapons on Kirinai. Okay, we just need to position well enough here. Okay, I didn't aim that fireball particularly well. We didn't manage to interrupt any of the priestess spells. Okay, this one priestess actually approached us. And that was a fatal mistake on her part. Wow, 76 damage from a critical backstab. Valigar was able to deliver 37 damage, so both of these are dead. And we can follow through and attack that other priestess. Okay, so and they actually have some bolts of biting, and we're going to have to get rid of that poison. Senashira had at the right moment after that poison ticks. Alright. And we actually have a poison of our own. That bleed damage from Valigar's katana actually is in the form of a poison. And that's pretty nice. It ticks pretty often and it interrupts spell casting pretty effectively. Alright. And we're done.
What is it? It will be done.
And there's some like, okay, Sphere of Chaos, random loot I think. There's some of these like single bolts of biting that I'm not going to get. There's a Cloak of Protection +1. And some minor stuff.
Speak. Certainly.
Okay. And now we can take the main way to the west to explore more of the place. Yeah, here there's going to be these cannibalistic halflings. They're not a big deal. They can dish out a little bit of damage, but nothing too serious. And we can get some potions of healing from them. But now some more notable encounters are going to start. Okay, another group of them. Actually, go back to throwing. Oh, these guys actually approached. I wanted to pre-buff before before that encounter. Dang. So they heard our encounter here. And this is actually supposed to play out differently. This guy, there's guy Togen here, which there's supposed to be like a little information that he's like chewing on some bones that still have some meat on them, and he basically like runs to the back to kind of lure us into their ambush. But okay, they actually came to us, it seems, and we have no pre-buffs. Well, anyway, let's check it out. They're not all here yet, and that's kind of problematic because there's also a high-level cleric, a cleric of level 18, actually, and this Kayardi is their mage, level 16 mage, I think, and he has minor globe and spell turning, and he casts protection from magical weapons. So basically what we need to do is we need to cast Secret Word to dispel his spell turning, and then we're going to be able to breach him. And in the meantime, I want to throw in a Namara Silence, but I want that cleric to be closer, so that he might get affected by that. And N2 is a fighter with some abilities. I think he has like Domination and a Detonation kind of AoE spell. And Togen, I think, is just an archer, and there should be like some of these halfling warriors as well. Anyway, let's approach with our guys. Yeah, here's that message. And this is really unfortunate positioning. Yeah, he used that detonate thing. Okay, Secret Word dispelled this guy's spell turning, and now we're going to breach him.
I shall go forth at your the best leaders also fought.
Alright. Now we can take care of him. He has contingency with Stone Skin, but it doesn't really matter. And that cleric, yeah, unfortunately it didn't like play out as it's supposed to, because that cleric should be a part of that fight here. Yeah, there he is. And he has some serious pre-buffs. He's going to have a lot of magic resistance. He has physical mirror, so that means that ranged weapons are not an option, and he also has Shield of the Archons, which is kind of a spell trap or spell deflection type of spell protection. But with him we can just overwhelm him with physical damage, and throw in that silence. I might be able to affect him. Okay, magic resistance apparently saved him from that. But he's, you know, without his buddies, he's not that big of a problem. So anyway, this was this was kind of different than how it usually works out. Anyway, there's going to be some notable stuff, because N2 had another batch of coal, and he had the Gauntlets of Ogre Power. And this guy has the Ripper, a composite longbow. I'm going to identify that later. This one we can identify already. Gauntlets of Ogre Power, of course, a classic D&D item, and we can give those to Valigar. And this is a nice upgrade from 17 strength going to 18 with a perfect 100 exceptional strength. It gives him 2 Thaco and 5 damage, so pretty cool. Now he's going to be more effective. Oh wow, we actually get a the best potion from that cleric. And these are basically the Throne of Ball potions that restore 40 hit points, and we're going to just store it for now.
What is it?
Alrighty. So here there's going to be that laboratory that one of these knights mentioned. And at this point this is kind of a joke of a fight with 2 spiders and 2 ettercaps.
You wouldn't hurt a lady.
SCS should really do something here with this encounter to offer something better. Anyway, on the table we can get even more coal, and that's basically all we need. And there's a golem building manual, or a building book. I guess that explains kind of a little bit what we should do here, but essentially what we want is we want to build a golem that's going to open a passage for us. We don't. We already can like place that that arm. You can see that the golem is missing an arm and a head, so we already have the arm. We can already attach it.
Yes?
There, and I think we are going to pre-buff a little bit here.
What is it?
I think I'm going to
Speak.
get another set of mirror images on Nashira. I think I might... How will we do this? I'm just thinking about like when I want to rest here and like rearrange my spells, because unfortunately, you know, I didn't rearrange my spells and we still have that contingency here, for example. And I think if we haste once, we're going to get fatigued. So I'm just thinking when there's going to be the best time to use all of our spells.
I hear you well enough.
Well, I think we might actually... Right, let's do it this way. So let's give 1 potion of invulnerability to Kiranai for her usual stuff.
I stand amongst the righteous.
Let's buff up with some chaotic commands.
Yes?
And Senashira is going to get some spell immunity to enchantment. We're basically about to face off against 2 mages. And let's get spell immunity to abjuration as well. And I think I'm going to... Should I haste now? I think I'm going to wait on it. Just have Stone Skin on Edwin. And I think what we're going to do is
I'm listening.
offer them
Yes?
something a little different.
I am as you would have.
Alright, so there's going to be 2 mages here with, I think they're level 12 and 15. Nekray is the higher level guy, and he casts protection from magical weapons. They have kind of a standard set of protections. Tybella has Minor Globe and improved invisibility. And I'm not sure if Nekray has improved invisibility. He is invisible, but perhaps that's just a normal invisibility he starts with. He has minor spell turning, and he has Globe of invulnerability. And I think we're just going to offer them some cloud kills for them to stand in. I think the battlefield here lends itself well to that kind of an option. And we're going to... Okay, Tybella also cast protection from magical weapons. So Senashira is going to go with one cloud kill there, and after a few seconds we're going to throw in another cloud kill with Edwin. And these two cloud kills should basically do the trick. And once they reveal themselves, we can actually throw some normal daggers, perhaps with Kirinai, and cut through their stone skins, and pressure them with physical damage as well. Alright, so that second cloud kill is on its way. Yeah, so their spells should be sufficiently interrupted. At least we have a good chance to interrupt the spells of theirs, and we can give some normal daggers to Kirinai. I'll see how this is going to develop. And this is kind of a not that small of a room, but they don't really have a lot of space to maneuver. And we can just basically keep them there. Alright, Spell Thrust was cast on Senashira, so her spell immunities were dispelled. Let's just take her out of there. Alright, Tybella already died from that cloud kill damage. Alright, and Kirinai was able to cut through their stone skins now and do some physical damage as well. And that's pretty cool. We're done with those guys. I'm just going to get rid of the cloud kills with a zone of sweet air. And now we can proceed. They have a dagger that's going to be a slight upgrade for Kirinai. Oh, you can't identify that. Well, let's use our glasses. Stiletto of Demarchus. And basically it's also a +2 dagger, but with a 20% chance to hold. But unfortunately it grants a saving throw. But it's still something better for Kirinai when she switches to her melee weapons. Alright, and here there are 3 furnaces.
What is it?
I am willing. What is it now? Very well.
It is wise to do so.
You can switch to your magical thrown dagger. And yeah, we already have the 3 piles of coal, and we can use those here.
Certainly.
And to get the furnaces going, and each time we do so, it's going to spawn a fire elemental.
Direct me as you will. Speak.
Righteousness shall prevail.
Oh, it will be done. Yes?
Of course, they stand no chance against our physical damage.
What is it? Next time, without doubt. Very well.
Alright, and now we're going to pre-buff a little bit, because in the next room there's going to be a set of some nasty golems. And I am going to haste, because they're going to offer us plenty of slow.
Yes, master. What should I fetch now?
Yes?
And I think we're going to tag them with Senashira with some stone skins.
I await your
And Jaheira, I guess, with some iron skins and some defensive harmony. And we can also chant a little bit.
What is it? Speak. Yes. I
And
am
yes,
ready.
Jaheira, improve our armor class.
Yes, without hesitation.
Yes, fine, fine. Just
Actually,
thought
Valagar can stay out of that
What
as
is
well.
it? This will not take long.
Alright, so here we have 3 golems, 2 stone golems and 1 juggernaut golem. And this one basically requires blunt weapons as well, because he has 90% resistance to other types of physical damage. And we're going to try to take care of him first.
Ooh, with you.
Point them.
Yeah, they have already slowed us. Okay. Animan needs to get out of there. You are not yet strong enough, Animan.
If it must be, yes, it will be done.
Anyway, here there's going to be the golem head, another pile of coal that we don't really need,
What is it?
and some other stuff. Their slow actually failed on Senashira, and we were able to deliver some cool damage.
Certainly.
Alright, so here we can offer the head, and awaken that golem. A guardian golem. This servant detects an intruder. It must be destroyed. But he actually doesn't mean us.
Yes?
He's actually going to open this door for us.
Nothing.
That's normally locked.
What is it? Direct
Alright,
message.
and apparently he detects some kind of a different intruder. So let's follow him. And with that haste, hopefully we're going to be able to snipe a nice kill for some good experience.
It will be done.
So here's an Elder Orb. It's a very high level type of beholder. Wizard, your sphere is not a fitting grave. Your golem be damned, I shall escape. So anyway, we're going to allow that Elder Orb to
Yes, certainly.
use its stuff on the golem, and then we're going to go in and hopefully deliver some good damage onto it. Yeah, basically it's just fixated on that golem, and we can just get the 14,000 experience. And Edwin actually leveled up off of that. And it seems our haste expired just in time, and yeah, we are fatigued. So we are going to rest at some point, and I think that point might even be now, because we are going to have to face off against a very high level mage in the next room.
Without hesitation.
And now this golem senses no more intruders. This servant may rest for a time.
Speak. Yes?
Also, I'm just going to quickly do this. And this is a little trial and error type of thing with these runes. And a correct order they need to be activated in order to open this door. And we can do that for some experience. But we're going to go that way a little later. And here Animan actually was able to level up. And okay, I think this is going to be it for this episode. Some more serious adventures in the Planar Sphere should come up in the next episode. So we are done with the easy stuff now, and yeah, some real difficulties are going to appear in the next episode. So I thank you for watching this one. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.